There we go. Let's try again. We're having the best morning ever of glitches. Isn't it cool? There we go. So I'm here and I'm just going to hang 10 because Szara's going to join me. This is going to be our miraculous morning of actually having this sorted. There we go. There's our beautiful Szara. Just so you know, it says adding, and there you are. Oh my word. What a morning of trying to get online, hey? Wow. Unbelievable. Awesome. But look here. We get to be together right in this very moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I just really know that it takes something some days to even just show up. And then I just like to acknowledge us standing and keeping coming back so that we actually can have this video be live, because this is really what our commitment is, right? Is that we actually get to be here and together and show up regardless of what life's throwing at us, including internet that's not working. Yeah. So thank you for being in this with me, Szara. And thank you for being this game partner who's willing to take this stuff on over and over. So thank you.
Awesome. Here we are. I love technology. Oh, okay. So we get to have this conversation.
We really do.
We get to be here together. Yeah. And what a great way to start it with this acknowledgement of yeah, hi. Here we are. I acknowledge us.
I know. And I love you. Seriously, I love you. And thank you for being in this with me. Right? And then it doesn't always look pretty in the way we want it to look and for it to be perfect. That's not life, right? It isn't. And then we get our choice, right? And it's the same. I see this in parenting all the time where I am. I want it to all be pretty and perfect. And then there's the reality of what it looks like to show up each day to our kids, right? To our partners, if that's who we have. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oftentimes, especially in those mornings, I find of everything seems to come at you, right? It can be days where it's oh my gosh, can I get baseball gloves on? Everything's coming at me. I can't catch. Duck.
Oh, I love that. I haven't heard. Yeah, I love that. I can't catch. I love that. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. And, some days can occur like that as a parent with all the things that we take on and all the things that we do.
Hands down. Yeah.
And then we get to say who we are about it.
Yeah.
We really get to say who we are in that moment. And some days who I am is I want to tuck myself back into bed, and sometimes I do. And then sometimes it's okay, game on. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I really just saw for myself out of this being here together and keeping working at getting this go live is that really speaks to what it takes to show up in our life, right? To keep taking it on, to show up as the parent we want to be, right? As the human we want to be, right? And to not back down even when stuff's being getting in the way of how we think it should be looking, right? Because I'm really present to that. It's right there for me. So yay. I'm so grateful that I don't want it to be so messy, and I'm so grateful that it is, because it actually just is a reaffirming, right? Yeah. So thank you. Okay. So
now today
we get to talk about.
I know today we get to really like we've taken on a whole month of acknowledgement, and we've looked
mm,
at acknowledgement from different vantage points. We really looked at
mm.
acknowledgement of, what is acknowledgement, what it offers. We've taken a look at like acknowledging our people, our children, or anybody really in our lives for the things
Yeah,
that they do. We've acknowledged, the people in our lives for who they are for us. And
yeah.
last week we really took on acknowledging ourselves, right? And being the
Mm,
space for our family and our children to acknowledge themselves as well. And like have a
yeah.
brag fest or a boast fest or permission slips granted for your acknowledgement of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we've
Mm-hmm.
taken on these different aspects of acknowledgement. And I'm clear it's really made a difference over here where I am.
Mm. Tell me a little bit more, like what, like tangibly for
Yeah.
you.
Well, you know, on the side, like aside from this, like I'm a mindset coach. Like I'm really about mindset and
Yeah.
taking on acknowledgement this month. It's interesting because it actually got me present how much power we have in shaping our mindset. Um,
Ah.
like like the last couple of weeks, there has been some big stuff that's been going on in my life or my family that really, would
Mm-hmm.
normally be quite upsetting. I have
Mm-hmm.
some teenagers that aren't liking their mom right now. They like my one
Yeah.
son, he's
Wow.
really not liking his mom. That's me.
Yeah. That
And
would be
it's
you.
really hard to be with. That would be me. Ah. And it's really hard to be with because like I love this boy, and as soon as I'm around the space of him not liking me, I have this instant
Mm.
want to react space. Like, are you serious?
Mm.
Like, do you not see who I am for you? Do you not see what I do? Um, I like it hurts. It's painful. It's upsetting. I take it
Yeah.
really personal. And then it's like, and
Yeah.
then I start to go into my head and look for all of the things that I've done wrong, right? Like, I like to actually
Mm.
look at, like, okay, well, there's something over here for me to be responsible for, and where I go with that question is like, okay, let's look at all the things that I've done wrong and what do I need to
Mm.
make right. And
Yeah.
but standing in acknowledgement though, standing here in acknowledgement, first off, it's like I can acknowledge myself for what I have done and who I am as a mom, who I am as
Yeah.
a parent, and what I
Yeah.
have contributed. I can
Yeah.
acknowledge him, my
Mm.
son, for who he is,
Mm.
and I can like reshape how I see him, like by just seeing
Mm.
all those things I love about him and acknowledging all those points I love about him has me
Yeah.
able to see him. So it just separates the reaction. So standing in acknowledgement, I can be with him not liking me. I don't like it. I really don't like
No.
it. But
No.
I can
No.
be
And
with
clearly
it.
there's, yeah. But you can actually hear, right,
Yeah.
that there's something
I
going on.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have to go to reaction. It doesn't have to go to a fight. I can be a space where he can say what he needs to say, and I can still communicate what I need to communicate, or add in what I need to as a parent, but as a response, as something from my creation, as something from my commitment. And I can look like,
Yes.
what am I actually
Wow.
committed to here? So standing in
Wow.
acknowledgement allows me to connect with what am I committed to? And then it actually I have to look like I get to create through my commitment right now. And so here I am dealing with, you know, some aspects of how he's being, and I have to look, okay, what is my role here as a parent? What am I wanting to take on as parenting? Like what is my end outcome here? What do I want him left with? What do I feel my role is to put in? And I can actually look
Yeah.
at what am I actually committed to for the outcome, as opposed to
Wow.
being the reaction. Sorry,
Yeah.
messages coming in. But the instead of being the reaction that I'm so pulled to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
really hear
acknowledgement
that.
was a lifeline for me this last couple of weeks. It really actually had me stand, and it actually had me too. It's like, okay, it was a moment, like, it was a very, I guess, very interactive moments with my son of
Yeah.
in these conversations. And, they weren't easy. They were
Mm.
tricky. They were messy. I didn't know, but I kept coming and able to stand from that space. And then too, when I left, when we left ways and like, we went on with our days, I was really complete. Like I
Mm.
wasn't going back and having it run my head. Oh, did I do the right thing? Did I say the right thing? Am I
Yeah.
worried over here? I could for myself be like, wow, like I was proud of myself as a mom. I was like, wow, I was a response. I wasn't a reaction. And I left him with love, and I put in what for myself was important to me to put in. And whether that's the right thing or the wrong thing, it was important to me and what I'm committed to as a parent. So I could actually like go off, and I actually enjoyed the rest of my day. Like rest of my day was lovely and beautiful. Where in the past, if there was like an upset between myself and one of the kids, or I was not liked and things like that, the whole rest of the day would be like me in my head and worried and just wanting to go under the covers or be by myself or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that. I was able to really be with the rest of my family and the rest of my life, and it was really amazing.
I just, it's listening to you, like I just get how powerful that space was for you, right?
Hmm.
Like like you were available for everybody in that space, right?
Hmm.
Like, like that's mind blowing. I just want you to know, sitting listening, like that is mind blowing out of the space of acknowledging what is and being present, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And
And
I
it got to go
really
a
thank
different
you.
way.
Yeah, right? Not
Yeah.
predictable, like upset. Yeah, that's all I can hear is like upset everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's like, yeah, so acknowledgement's really been such a gift. It's like what it offers. It doesn't just like it offers the like I don't want to even call it surface because it's meaningful stuff. Like it offers, acknowledging your people. It leaves them with love and it leaves them with connection and it's lovely. And there's a layer underneath that it offers, whereas there's this like real presence and space for you to really look and be with that person without the reaction or taking things personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I, it just makes me think. I mean, I had some pretty tricky conversations this last week, and and I'm still drawn over and over that when I acknowledge that I'm actually pulled to be present, like I'm really left with that the opportunity is to be here now rather than trying to fix or change something, right? But really be here now with whoever I'm with, right? And it's part of what you're speaking to, and it's what I hear we all really want. So yeah, thank you.
Hmm. And it's a really great segue into like kind of what we're actually going to dive into this next month, right? Because like
Yeah,
this last month we've really taken on acknowledgement and looked at it from these different vantage points and just to get curious of what does it offer, right? And so, for
yeah,
myself, I've really discovered some spaces it really offers. Like it really shapes my lens. It really shapes how I see and hear my people.
yes,
And it's lovely. It's really lovely. And so this month we are like, it's still actually kind of acknowledgement, but a little bit of a
it is.
variation of acknowledgement. And
Well,
so
I think
this month,
it's pretty specific, right? Like it's actually narrowing, like taking on a part particularly. Yeah,
yeah, it's targeted.
yeah.
Targeted, yeah.
I
And
like
and
that
it's
word.
really like I know. And it's like for me, I look at it as like two magic words. Like it's
Mm,
like if you want to transform any situation, any part of your life, if you are dealing with anything in your life, like these two words are like magic to me. Like they are. They're like your most powerful tool in your back pocket. Like throw them out. And yeah, they're the two magic words. And we get to take them on this month coming and exploring again different variations of them.
mm-hmm.
Hmm. You want to make the
So,
announcement of what the two magic words
no,
are?
you do it. You do it. You do it.
Yeah, well, the two magic words, if you haven't guessed, are thank you, thank you, and thank you in a way of being, right? Like thank you when you really connect with like that place of gratitude. And so this
Yeah,
month we're taking on gratitude and we're taking on those two words of thank you. And thank you can really transform any moment. It can have people be seen in a way they don't get seen usually. It can have
yeah,
yourself shape your mind and your reality of your circumstances around you.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
beautiful. Well created.
what we talked about last night, like Helen or yesterday when Helen and I were talking about thank you and the power of thank you, both of us realized that times of our life, thank you has actually been a lifeline to us
Yeah,
in moments that were pretty heavy and
yeah,
and some people would say dark or lonely or really dealing and grappling with something. Like thank
yeah,
you has been a lifeline.
yeah.
Yeah. So this month coming, we are kiss me.
You kiss
I
me.
like that too.
Yeah,
That's like
well,
such a
we're
powerful
totally in
word.
with that. Yeah.
Team Meg, mwah. Love it. That's so funny. Your husband's calling me, Helen.
Okay. Just, thank you for telling me.
But really, so we're going to this month really take a look each week at again another vantage point. Oh, I guess he heard kiss me. Oh no, teasing.
I know. That's why I was laughing.
But I'm just slow in my brain. It comes in late. I'm the late faller. Oh, but yes, we are going to take on looking at thank you from different vantage points.
Yeah.
And what it offers.
Brilliant. So are we going to create something for today?
Well, today was really the introduction.
Yeah. So how about so how about we actually take on looking like where we create thank you, right? Like how and where we create it, right?
Ooh, one thing to really notice, is when somebody to you says thank you. This week, really, you could take on like all those times when somebody turns to you and says thank you. What are you left with? Like, how does it make a difference for yourself where you are when you are thanked and acknowledged in that thank you? Because it will really, if you can like look there and start to notice how it is for you, it'll really give you some space this month as we take on each of our weeks to see what you're out giving and what you're actually doing and up to.
Yeah. Brilliant. I love it. I really love it.
Okay. So
wow.
we get to explore this targeted area of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm excited of what this month of gratitude gets to look like.
Yeah. And like we have a whole month and we have I want to say we have like a process that we've actually created over the month. So it's not this random thing, like there is really a context for this. It's not just something we're throwing at you. There's really a context where we're building on. So I am so excited. I'm so ready to take on this. Thank you. Yeah. And I just want to say thank you to all these awesome people who are here playing with us, acknowledging and saying thank you and playing the game. And I think instead of thank you, I'm sometimes going to say kiss me, just for good measure.
Yes. I love that. Okay. Awesome. So enjoy your day and really look for the thank yous. Look for your thank yous and look for the thank yous that get to land where you are.
Yeah.
Love you.
Brilliant. Okay. So much love. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.